Welcome to our series Amplify Agile. Our today's topic is catalysts or triggers for digital transformation. And I'm so happy to have with me today Konstantin Popov. Konstantin is Managing Director and Digital Transformation Consultant at Vincerion. Konstantin, welcome.
Thomas, thank you for having me.
Konstantin, before we start, I'm reading so much about different top articles on digital transformation. It's in the strategy of every larger enterprise. But what actually is digital transformation?
Well, yes, Thomas, I think it's a very important topic for everyone. And if you ask 10 different people, you will probably get 15 different answers. In my opinion, digital transformation is the process of enabling people to make better use of technology to drive outcomes that matter.
Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, that's a good definition. Before we dive into the topic, what triggers the agile transformation, can you give us just a short insight and what your background is and what Vincerion is doing?
Yeah, absolutely, Thomas. I have over 2 decades of experience in project portfolio management, project delivery, digital transformation, and all things business agility. At Vincerion, I manage a team of digital consultants, and we help companies with agile delivery at scale, transformation strategy, business agility, employee development, and large-scale organizational change. At the core of what we do is our practical experience. We partner with our customers to find a place to start that is less than perfect and less than certain, and then only actions and learning help them to realize their vision and strategy into tangible results. Basically go from possible to probable to done.
Wow, yeah, that sounds fantastic. I see digital transformation strategies at each and every larger enterprises. What, from your experience, actually catalyzes or triggers the digital transformation?
Thomas, we see a lot of different things in the market. I guess the key things for me would be cloud adoption. A lot of companies have cloud for a strategy. It is probably the #1 catalyst for change today. Next is we're looking at increased use of agile frameworks. If there is one thing that we've learned is that we cannot waterfall our way into digital. We need to make use of short incremental cycles and the learning and innovation that comes with it.
Yeah.
I also think that any type of enterprise DevOps initiatives, either on-prem or in the cloud, our ability to automatically deploy workloads into the cloud and automate our infrastructure deployments are extremely critical. Also, a lot of companies are changing their underlying business architecture from a traditional waterfall cost-centric model into more of an integrated value stream product-centric architecture. So the transition from project to product and increased customer centricity is definitely another very important catalyst.
Yeah.
And I also think that the pace of change today is so fast that in order to respond to how our customers and our partners and our suppliers are doing business, it is very important for companies to get on the same page, right, and to do the work and to align themselves with the rest of the universe.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
And lastly, for me personally, and I see it with a lot of our customers, COVID was a huge, I guess, enabler or amplifier or catalyst for change. Not only the companies had to learn how to interact with their people in a remote way, we also saw the companies that were better positioned for digital are actually moving ahead. But also as individuals, we now find that digital is making its way into our everyday's life. We're changing the way that we've ordered coffee. Before, you would walk into the coffee shop, the barista would know you by your first name. Now you interact with an app on the phone and just walk into the store and pick up coffee.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Order groceries online.
Yeah, yeah. So many changes, and the transition and the move to agile, introduction to agile frameworks, DevOps initiatives, the move from projects to products. These are all linked together. But is there like one catalyst that kind of stands out for you?
Would probably look at my experience on a cloud
Mm-hmm.
adoption program, cloud readiness acceleration program in Chevron. And this is really where we took something that was considered an infrastructure replatforming event and
Mm-hmm.
use it as an opportunity for modernization, automation, deploying business agility at scale, and really changing the Chevron business architecture from the traditional waterfall concentric model into a more of an integrated digital platform architecture, where
Mm-hmm.
all of the enterprise stakeholders together with the business stakeholders are working to deliver value to the organization. And really, we started with a team of 7 people migrating a basic acronym Finder to the cloud via a fully automated pipeline, and grew this to a program with well over 1,000 people, migrating hundreds of applications into the cloud, building hundreds of cloud native applications, and decommissioning a number of data centers along the way. It was probably the one that stands out for me the most.
Yeah, cool. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, yeah. So many things you did, and for the digital transformation, I mean, there are so many things to consider. How did you do all that, and what do you think is most important to consider?
Thomas, I think the initial key step that you have to take, and that we took, which is often overlooked, is stakeholder onboarding and enrollment. We want
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that we are aligning everyone on why are we embarking on a digital transformation, how people's lives are going to change, and
Mm-hmm.
if we fail to do that, we are going to alienate a lot of the people very early on, and they become the resistors. And then your transformation will be focusing on tending to the needs of the resistors rather than driving real change.
Yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's been lots of changes. I think there's also going lots of things that need to be automated. If you to talk about the DevOps pipeline and all these things. Um,
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely correct. Finding a way to automate
mhm.
is extremely important, and relentless automation, like I said earlier. You want to make sure that that if you want to be able to do it at scale, you have to automate
Mhm.
your cloud infrastructure deployment, you have to automate your workload deployment. There are many
Yeah.
different opportunities for automation that should be your part of digital transformation, but these two are absolutely a must. And we did this very early on. We standardized all of our
Mhm.
deployment pipelines and infrastructure as code,
Mhm.
and it was critical for our scaling efforts.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, and there must be also a couple of organizational changes, isn't it?
Yes, but before we go there, I think the number one thing is you have to build trust with the rest of your organization.
Mhm.
And in my
Yeah.
opinion, the only way to build trust is for you to deliver on your commitments.
Mhm.
Actually, do what you said that you were going to do. And very early on,
Mhm.
I would actually say you have to over deliver on your commitments, because you
Yeah.
need to create that environment where people want to do what you do. People want to be able to, people want to be part of that effort. There needs to be an excitement.
Mhm. Good. So it's also about accepting failures then.
Yes, I think building organizational capability and training your people and giving them an opportunity
Mhm.
for practical experience, and actually creating a safe environment where they can come in and they can try the things that they've learned without fear
Mhm.
of being penalized if something goes wrong,
Yeah.
is a really big paradigm shift. And traditionally we have been risk averse as organizations based on our traditional business architecture, and
Mhm.
and it will require a little bit of time of getting used to for the individuals involved as well as for the enterprise.
Yeah, right. Very good. Do you think organizations have to do that all on their own, or would you recommend coaches, or how they practically start and get the knowledge they need?
Very good question, and thank you for reminding me. I think given the fact that we will be doing a lot of things for the first time,
Hmm.
it is very important for organizations to build an ecosystem of partners. And we've
Hmm.
done this on a cloud program. We build a global ecosystem of partners that enable for us to get fast access to talent globally at the very
Hmm.
attractive price points. So ecosystem of partners is extremely important for you to augment your existing capabilities, because then you can build hybrid teams. You can build your employees that are doing it for the first time and just have a formal training together with the consultants that have done it in the past, and you can have that organic knowledge transfer within your Scrum teams.
Yeah, yeah. So it will be not like a one, and next week we are doing all the whole transformation or so. It will be more continuous process and a kind of fail and learn and proceed. Yeah, very good. So what would be your key takeaway for our participants?
I guess there are a few things that I can think about, but for I was really moved, and it stuck with me, until now.
Hmm.
Um, Mick Kirsten, in his book From Project to Product, is making an assertion that about 50% of the Fortune 500 companies will not be there in the next decade. And it is a pretty big number. And if you look historically at the longevity of the Fortune 500 companies, it was decades and
Hmm.
decades and decades. So it's scary.
Yeah.
And to me, the question is, it is not a matter of if we're going to transform, but it is a matter of how quickly can we change to survive.
Good, very good point. So thank you so much for the session today, and thank you, dear participants, for attending. If you have any feedback or questions, please leave us a comment or drop us an email at amplifyagile@apptio.com. We'll address your question right away, or maybe we can even create a new episode on some topics you suggest. And don't forget to subscribe and like these sessions. This will help us to create future episodes like that. See you on the next one.
Thanks, Thomas.
Yeah, thanks.